So the trend in drinking these days is a lot of people aren't drinking much anymore. A new Gallup poll is reinforcing what we've been hearing from restaurants, bars, concert venues for months. And tonight, Kent breaks down the numbers of what appears to be driving this change.
Are you looking for anything special?
When Marigold Non-Alcoholic Bottle Shop opened in Minneapolis nearly 3 years ago, it was a niche business.
We were the only place in the state. We were the only place in the city. And liquor stores just didn't quite see the benefit to having non-alcoholic options.
But Josie Schumacher
At that point, that was 3 years ago.
says other stores have caught on, expanding NA offerings to keep up with changing tastes.
We've seen definitely an increase in people not drinking, or people curious in decreasing the amount of alcohol they drink.
According to Gallup, which has tracked Americans' drinking behavior since 1939, a record low 54% of adults reported using alcohol last year, continuing a 3-year decline.
There are just a lot of health benefits to not drinking, and there's a lot more research coming out suggesting that drinking less or not drinking at all is beneficial.
That does appear to be playing a role. For the first time, a majority of Americans, 53%, say even drinking in moderation, 1 or 2 drinks a day, is bad for their health.
I'm glad that people are more aware of the health effects of alcohol consumption.
University of Minnesota professor Sylvia Belbo has long studied the link between alcohol consumption and cancers of the mouth, esophagus, and lower intestines.
Probably starting to be close to 20 years. A long time.
But she believes the perception shift now is thanks in part to the U.S. Surgeon General issuing an expansive order in January tying alcohol to several cancer risks.
The connection has been known for a long time, but we're still trying to really pinpoint what are the steps of this process that lead from exposure to cancer development. And I think that research needs to move forward in being able to really provide that more precise and quantitative information so that we can even be better and better informed in making our decisions.
Of course, it says natural flavors.
And where that information goes, tastes are likely to follow.
I think that just in general, having access to options has made it a lot easier to make different choices.
Now, another really interesting aspect of this poll is that the youngest adults, 18 to 34-year-olds, are driving the change. Just 50% of them reported drinking, while 66% said that moderate drinking is bad for their health. That's a lot higher than the middle-aged and older adults, the categories I'm in, Jana.
Same. You know, they just pointed out at Marigold that there's a lot more NA options, completely true. But there's also been what we think or perceive as an uptick in THC or marijuana use. Did you hear anything about that?
Well, Gallup actually singled that out, saying that even though more states have legalized, in the past 4 years, they haven't seen the percentage talking about marijuana use really change. So that doesn't really account for it. It's really more about the health impacts.
Interesting. Well, thanks so much, Kent.